Welcome back to another episode of the Next Man Up Podcast. It's episode 60. Before we even get started, make sure you guys subscribe to our social medias up at the top and like and comment on the video. We actually just put a Zach Lavine trade destination video out that we did last night. It's up now. So after you finish this, go ahead and watch that. Today we're joined by Brandon from the Wise Guys podcast. Been meaning to have him on for a few weeks now, but it seems like time because me and him has been going back and forth on Twitter about the James Harden situation for the last 3 days, ever since they've been losing. And that is where we're going to start today. The Clippers are 0-6 since they traded from James Harden. I think James Harden actually only played in 5 games. So the headline, is going to be James Harden 0-6, though, even though he's only played 5 games, even though he hasn't played bad every game. But we're going to start with Brandon. The question is, because this is what we've really been arguing about, is Harden a problem with the Sixers?
The Clippers.
Clippers, whatever.
No, you're good.
Even though so many teams, I'll be mixing them up at this point. But yeah.
And that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. So, listen, my whole thing is not, is James Harden playing well? Is he not playing well? That's not the crux of what I'm getting at. My whole point is there was no need for James Harden in LA. There was no need. Okay. We can all probably agree, right? James at this current stage point right now is better than Russell Westbrook, right? It's not by much, but he's better than Russ.
It's by much. It's by a lot.
No,
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. It's by a lot. But go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't know. I don't know about
James
that.
Harden just averaged a double-double and led the league in assists. Let's be serious, bro. Let's be serious.
And Russell Westbrook having 25 in the playoffs all by himself. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, I feel like that's not a crazy statement. Like, they're like, okay, but that we're getting off track because you guys, okay, we're instantly disagreeing on that. But again, back to my point. The whole crux is there was no need for James in LA. I thought the reason they re-signed Russ was because, okay, we're going to go ahead with Russ. He's going to get a bigger role with PG and Kawhi. He's going to be the point guard. He's going to be the number one point guard, the playmaker, the guy with the ball in his hands making the decisions, right? Now you bring James in and you trade away not 1, not 2, but 3 and D guys who are all veterans, all right? They're not what they once were, no, but they're vets, and in the playoffs, those guys are invaluable. And you trade a young guy that I'm actually pretty high on. I like Kenyon Martin Jr. And you trade basically all your other draft assets. So that's basically where I'm at, is there was no need. And so now you have a much bigger problem in LA, which is these 4 guys don't work together.
Okay, so at its face value, I hear what you're saying, and it's not, a bad take or anything like that. But I want to start here. When you first said it was no need, Zay started snapping like you said some good poetry or something. When on this podcast, you came on here in the offseason and was like, your main point, you talking about the Clippers going to win a championship. You said, we're getting James Harden. We're getting James Harden.
Without James Harden.
You did say that, but you were high on this James Harden before it happened. That was one of your main points. What you saying, James Harden coming to the team is going to help y'all win a championship. Yeah. Now we're 5 games in, and the whole entire move has changed. Now I know you said greatness takes time.
On a 5-game losing streak, do you expect me to still be happy when I thought James Harden was going to come? Okay. I did not. That's my fault. I did not know that the play style difference would affect PG and Kawhi that much. And you keep talking about James Harden's playing good. He's playing good. I don't care about that. The biggest critique of James Harden's whole career is that he'll play good and his teams will lose. So even if he's playing good, I showed you the stats. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are much better with players with Westbrook on the court. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a rhythm thing. I don't know if he gets them to their twice better. I don't know if they feel more confident. I don't know. I'm not blaming James Harden for Paul George missing shots because of that or anything like that. I'm just saying those 3 had the highest plus minus in the league since the trade, or they're top 3. You bring James Harden in, and he runs he calls himself a system. And so now, because of this system, even if he's playing good, Paul George had a few stinkers in a row. Kawhi's been having a few stinkers in a row. Just because James Harden's playing good does not negate that, because his system has not worked. We're 0-6, so obviously I'm going to be upset. As a Clippers fan, I still want it to work. There's nothing we could do. We can't reverse the trade, so I'm still going to hope it works. But looking back in hindsight, yeah, low-key, I wish we didn't do it because I didn't know it would be this much. I honestly, if we did it over the summer, I probably would have been more happy. It would have been more time to gel. We're doing this in the middle of the season. That's why I still say we're still going to be fine. Patience is going. I think it will work. James Harden is still a great player. Kawhi Leonard is still a great player. Paul George is a great player. Russell Westbrook is still a great player. I do think it's still going to work. It's going to take time, so I wish they did it over the summer and not just in the middle of the season.
All right.
There's level. I mean, it's not mid-season. We're in the early season, but I understand your point about starting in, and then great players like Kawhi and PG, I think, are still on a great level. I don't know if James and
I was just saying. But like,
let me talk to you about this, Zay, because we had this conversation.
Talk to me, baby.
We had this. You said Paul George is, had a few stinkers. He was liable to have these stinkers with or without James Harden being in on the Clippers or on the floor. That's one. Two, in the first 3 games of the season, the Clippers were playing amazing. You had one of the highest net ratings in the NBA. You had a top 10 defense. You had a top 2 offense. The competition you guys were playing was subpar. You guys played.
But we just lost to the worst team in NBA. So you're saying the competition, but at least we were beating
that is okay.
Now we're
that's one game.
The worst team in the NBA.
Y'all, first of all, it was a close game. Y'all was getting blown out at first, and y'all came back. Now,
okay. You just know we're playing weak competition. That's why our net rating was so high.
I understand that.
But then we played the worst team in the NBA, and we lost.
So I played the best team in the NBA and lost by like 2 possessions.
Thank you.
Bro.
So the reason
without Harden playing, by the way.
What?
Harden
he was. We told the Nuggets. The Nuggets.
Okay. I got some other Lakers.
Now listen. The reason y'all feel like this is such an extreme drop off because all of the Clippers issues were masked by you guys starting that 3-0 start. When even in wins, you had to look at what's going wrong with the team. You guys were getting out rebounded. Zubac was not playing well, but y'all was playing through that because they were terrible teams. And y'all still, y'all lost to the Grizzlies. I'm not going to ignore that. But in those first 3 games, y'all couldn't really guard anybody, and y'all couldn't really rebound. And turnovers were an issue. And Kawhi Leonard, since the beginning of the season, before James Harden even got there, was having ups and downs. He has not been good for the season with James Harden, without James Harden. And then it's Paul George. Paul George can have up and down games. It's Paul George. Nothing from what he's been doing since Harden got there and when Harden wasn't there has changed for me. He's taking the same shots. He's missing the same shots. And the real issue, let me break down the real issues for you guys. Where, yes, I'll agree with you, Harden not solving any of them, but he's for damn sure it's not the issue. He's not, adding on to it either.
He's not one of the issues?
No, he – okay, so I didn't say that.
I didn't –
the argument – the argument
– say James Harden is the only issue. So
okay, the argument for me, because when I made the tweet, James Harden, because you guys both responded to it, I said James Harden isn't the issue on the Clippers because – obviously,
issue. So
yeah, I'm not saying he's not an issue on the team, but he's not the.
You're saying he's not the main issue.
He's not the main issue. He's not one of the issues that they're going to be plaguing you guys down the season. Like when we get later to the season and right to the playoffs, I don't feel like James Harden be that main issue where it leads to you guys not winning the championship because one, you're not going to win the championship anyways. But
I would like to say, first off, you don't need to refer to we because I'm not a Clippers fan. I like Kawhi, but I just wanted to clarify that.
Let's talk about Kawhi because this is the problem with the media right now. Everybody is jumping on James Harden because he just got to the team and it's a headline. But Kawhi has been terrible for the entire season. This is one of the worst seasons, one of the worst starts season in his career.
How many games are we in right now?
It's been like 10 games, bro. Oh my god!
I just said one of the worst starts to.
I know. I just wanted to clarify. I just wanted to clarify how many games we're in. I'm not coming at you.
This is his worst season.
No, I didn't. Did I not say? Did I not say? Cute. Am I tripping?
I said before you clarified it. Second, bro, I understand that this is a topic of the video, but this is getting so tired to me, bro. Y'all been arguing about this for the past 3 days, bro. We just need to move on. It's early in the season, bro. It's early in the season. I get it. Harden hasn't been playing his greatest. It's looking like he's coming back to form. Kawhi hasn't been playing his greatest. I think Zay's main frustration point is taking Russ out when they had momentum and had the lead. And it's the beginning of the season, bro. You've been preaching that this whole season. It's still early. Things can ramp up, but this whole conversation is getting tired, bro. It's getting very tired.
And my argument, I've been saying that this stuff is gonna take time to gel. So for you to act like I'm moving away from, It's been early in the season. It's kind of crazy. Now, let me finish what I was saying. Nobody has talked about Kawhi, and Kawhi has been bad. Nobody has talked about that. One of y'all main issues, and it needs to get fixed. Both of your star players are playing trash in the fourth quarter. Both of them. Kawhi more so than PG. Kawhi Leonard has shot 27% in the clutch this year and 22% from three. Nobody's talking about that, Zay. I haven't heard you say a peep about that, Zay. And Brandon, you're a Kawhi guy. I haven't heard you say nothing about that either. So let's get real about what y'all issues are, because y'all play terrible down the stretch. Like I said, it was mass about y'all was blowing out terrible teams. When it gets down the stretch against the Grizzlies, when it gets down the stretch against the Knicks, when it gets down the stretch against the Nuggets and the Brooklyn Nets, y'all players are folding. That's really the real issue, because they playing terrible in the clutch. They are.
Can I offer you just one question? So,
before you say the plus minus thing about the clutch, Zay, Russ has not been playing in the clutch, so that's why his net rating and plus minus all of that looks better than what Harden, Kawhi, and PG, because they've been sitting him in the clutch.
56 is crazy, regardless. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about Russ in that thing, and that's what your whole argument about me is Russ. I didn't say anything about Russ in that screenshot. All I said was a negative 56 net rating is insane. That's mind-blowingly bad, bro. Yeah. Regardless.
So let me offer this to you, Latif, right? Would you agree that a reason why Kawhi could be struggling, and the whole team honestly could be struggling, is because he's already nodding his head. No, he doesn't know what I'm going to say. Because the team is not gelled yet. Like you said, later on in the season, you believe that this will gel, I guess is where I feel like you're coming from. Like you believe it will eventually gel. So my question to you would be, do you expect this trend to continue with Kawhi? Do you expect Kawhi, arguably, I guess to a majority of people, top 10, to me a lot higher, but that's just because he's been injured and it's hard for me to sit here and argue that to you guys. But do you believe that he will continue to struggle like this going down the season?
I'm not sold on Kawhi Leonard being a top 10 player anymore, but I don't think he's going to struggle like this for the entire season.
So then, I mean, again, I guess it's more of a moot point, because you believe that you can yell at the houses until everybody comes home, right? That Kawhi's struggling, but you now agree that Kawhi will get it together and that this team will gel. So I don't know why. Again, I feel like we're getting missed in the weeds right here. Like, I'm saying the main reason why James Harden is the main problem is because the trade should have never happened. That's my whole point. He's not a right fit for this team. That's where I'm coming from. And you're saying James is not the main issue. He's part of the problem.
Say that. It's not a James Harden problem. The trade never happened. It's the front office problem. Whatever James Harden had to do, they should just never.
He wanted to go to the Clippers, though, right?
They didn't have to. If that's the case, the front office did not have to go get him, because they did not need him. They needed defensive rebounding, and they had James Harden, who does not help either of those points.
I agree.
That's not that player. That's the front office fault for going to get said player.
Cook.
And Nicholas Batum and Covington were not the difference of you winning those 3 games that y'all lost. That's just stupid thinking. You talking about Russ and this and the third, that don't mean nothing. Russ did not do anything in said run that y'all was arguing about 2 nights ago. He didn't do nothing. He had 2 points.
Like y'all y'all bring it up out of nowhere.
Stop talking about Russ and stop talking about his plus.
Nobody's talking about Russ.
I'm talking specifically about that specific
Nobody's talking about that. Y'all the ones bringing it.
Yeah, whatever. Look, James Harden had nothing to do with the problem.
Y'all
got there and did not fix the problem that they already had. That's the problem. The Clippers need defensive rebound, and James Harden wasn't going to fix any of those. So stop blaming James Harden for them playing bad. That's it.
Yeah. Agreed. I 100% agree.
James Harden fault.
I agree. The front office should have never made the trade. They believed that.
For 15 minutes, it went around the circle and saying nothing, bro.
Who, me or him?
Oh yeah, y'all wasn't saying a bunch of nothing. Y'all wasn't trying to listen. Y'all not trying to listen. Y'all arguing.
I feel like we're in agreement. Like we agreed that James Harden, like the issue. I agree with. I just sat here and said,
y'all all were saying that for different reasons. When the whole reason was
that's not true at all. You obviously didn't listen to what I was saying, because I said even on my show that James Harden is the issue because of the fit, and he should have never been on the team.
Both of y'all are saying the same thing. Both of y'all are saying the same thing.
I'm agreeing with you, Q. I just sat here and said agreed on my head. Like,
yeah, I'm saying you got there, but you got there at the end, because that's not how it started.
I literally started my conversation with that point. What are you talking about? You're talking about listening.
All right.
That's not what
I think.
Oh my God!
I think
Oh,
we. I think,
Hey, hold on. I want to say, what do y'all think the fix is? Briefly, because obviously the
fix
trade is
obviously
Fine, bro.
James or Russ has to go to the bench. A lot more people lean Russ has to go to the bench. But again, we're going to run around circles
That
like you
too.
were saying because neither of them are going to accept a bench role. So now we're kind of stuck.
I think Russ has accepted a bench role in his past, so I don't know that he wouldn't accept the bench role. I think that the Clippers need to make Harden the primary playmaker in this offense. Just let him create. He's a great distributor. Let him create for the Kawhi and PG. Like they got to find sets where James Harden is more than an initiator. He can come off screens and get others involved. He works really well with Zubac. They just traded for Daniel Tice, who's a good pick and roll big as well. So you have to let him be the primary playmaker in this offense. Because we've seen in Brooklyn, he can play next to two guys that are high volume scorers, and it can have works. It didn't work out because they got injured, but they were successful when they played. And he is not the same player he was in Brooklyn, but as far as from a facilitator standpoint, I think he's still that same player.
Yeah.
So I think the fix is for it don't have to be one of them go to the bench because these are two guys with big egos. You have Russ, who was not only playing well before Harden got here, he played well in the playoffs. You don't have to send him to the bench. Just all you have to do is stagger their minutes a little bit more. Make sure that avoid them playing on the court as much, and that's what you need to do. I don't think you have to send one of them to the bench because that's going to cause a lot more trouble than it will good.
You know what's crazy about this? That's not crazy. Funny is that this quote unquote big four is better when one of them or two of them are missing or not playing together. They're the only big four that you can point to and say they're better when they're not all playing together. Because you just said that you got to stagger their minutes so they're not playing as much together. That's just weird to me. It's a funny thing to me.
Zay, what's your fix for the team?
I don't hate the fix that you just said, but we're also 3-7. So or 3-7, 3-8. 3-7, I think. Or 3. I forgot.
3-7.
3-7.
3-7. So we're at a point where I don't know. I said what I said earlier. I still don't hate it. I said it in the group chat. Have Harden come off the bench until we figure something out. Until practice, there's a lot of off days. There's a lot of y'all keep laughing, but we're a +20 with the original big three and a -20 with Harden, PG, and Kawhi. Y'all calling that crazy, but it's whatever.
Okay. I think it's pretty. I get what you're saying, and I agree.
I'm not saying I do, and I do think a championship way more. If we're getting to the playoffs, Harden will be starting. He has the more of a ceiling. I'm not saying it. I'm saying to win games, we're 3-7. Got to make the playoffs before we talk about winning in the playoffs. Do what works. When we figure something out. When we start Harden, Kawhi, PG in the lineup, and we figure out plays and sets that work. Then obviously have Harden starting. That has a higher ceiling in the playoffs. But for right now, go with the line that has work. Go with the line that's had a higher net rating. This has nothing to do with me being a Russ fan. This has to me wanting my team to win a game. Haven't watched these guys win a game in 2 weeks.
Zay.
Oh, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't even have much to say. I agree with you on most things, Zay, but I feel like it's actually grotesque what you're saying. If they were to send anybody to the bench, it would be Russ. It's very delusional to think that they would out of the two that they would send Harden to the bench. That's just very delusional by you. But I understand. You can continue what you were saying.
Oh no, I was just going to pose a question to everybody.
Back me up, but I mean it's whatever.
I just wanted to pose a question to everybody. I guess we can wrap this up. You want to go to another topic, right? Because I know Jay is probably tired of this. Q looks tired of this conversation. So, first question: do you guys believe this will gel eventually? And yes or no, depending on that answer, where do you think the Clippers end up at the end of this season, like a record or seeding wise?
I think we should start with Zay because he had the highest positions coming into the season.
Okay.
So do you expect it to gel? And yes, or depending on your answer, where do you think they're gonna finish seeding?
Yeah, I think we would gel. I hope Ty Lue figures whatever he has to figure out because he's not been a great coach to start this season. I think he is a good coach, but to start the season, he has not been the greatest. I think we'll finish as the top 60. I want to avoid the play-in. I think they can avoid the play-in. We're gonna have to go on a win streak, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, I was I was rooting for the Lakers last year, and they were in it. Teams. It's a long season, and I already said patience takes time. I don't know why Latif is making it seem like he wasn't the one instigating when he came in the group chat wanting to start something. And I said patience takes time, and now he's one of the people talking about you guys got to wait for it to gel. When I was the one literally saying it. So yeah, I think it'll gel. I think we just got to figure it out. I think the top 6 seed is not impossible.
Okay, but so like obviously you're not even a Clippers fan, but a Russ fan. He's playing, so you're resident Clipper fans, whatever. Are you? What about this championship prediction that you made before the season started?
Yes, you saw me post on Instagram. We're gonna figure it out, and what we do is gonna get scary.
So you're still predicting them to win the championship? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's a bold strategy, Kyle.
Hey, your centers had 9 points last night, so let's calm down.
All right, so Latif, go ahead. What do you think?
Oh no, I think they're going to eventually move to having Harden as a primary playmaker. That's what they brought him here to do, because they really never had. Well, they had Russ, so I don't know. Russ did make for Kawhi and PG, so I kind of felt that it. In hindsight, it wasn't necessary to bring them. I agree with y'all that trading him for him was probably not necessary. Drew Holiday would have probably fixed a lot of what they needed. But I just don't know why they were on the search for a point guard for the entire offseason. They were trying to get Drew Holiday. They were trying to get Malcolm Brogdon. So if they were so confident in what Russ was going to do for this team, I don't know why you're out there looking for point guards. I don't get it. But
where do you think they're going to finish?
They're not going to be a lottery team. They're probably going to be playing out anywhere between like 5 and 7. I think they're going to be like a second round exit though, for sure.
Gotcha. Hugh, what you think?
I don't think it's gonna gel with all 4 of them on the court. There's probably gonna just be 3 of them on the court, and probably Russ being the person coming off the bench, and they're probably still gonna be an 8th seed. To me, I don't think they're gonna be much higher than that.
Seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, I say the same thing. Probably like around 6 to 8. Russ probably gonna have to come off the bench, but everything just has to do with time. I think Kawhi is gonna figure it out. So yeah.
All right, Jay, you've been pretty quiet. You ready to move on to the topic that you have a lot to say about?
Yeah, man. All right, so Zion commented on his new role with the Pelicans, and at first I was pretty frustrated because he kind of is the offense. Him and BI are the offense. If you watch the games, you can see that it's mostly just a you turn my turn thing. Zion will get his, and then BI will get his. But as I started paying closer attention to it, I understand what he's saying. So when you look at Zion's career, you can even look back at college. He's always had playmakers around him. Trey Jones when he first got in the league, Lonzo, and then last year was his first time being with a guard who wasn't necessarily a playmaker, just like a score first guard and CJ McCollum. But they still had him in a dunker spot. They still gave the ball to him below the free throw line. And the whole point Zion thing occurred like in his, I would say, second year when it started with when he was playing with Zion, but he wasn't like the main initiator. So now it looks like they have him as being the main initiator, having him bringing up the ball, bringing up past the 3-point line. And now you see people playing defense differently on him. You have people roaming against him, and that's causing him problems. Like Zion is at his best because his best attribute is how quickly he can get off the floor. And that's utilized when he's in the dunker spot. You pass him the ball, he dunks the ball. If he misses, that second jump is lethal. He gets the rebound, and he puts it back up. Now, when you have him controlling the ball, him bringing it up the court, you're allowing defense to like have time to stop him, and that's what's causing this slow start for him. So I understand what he's saying. I guess with CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy coming back, that could be a fix. But right now, I understand his frustrations. Hopefully, when they come back, they don't have him being the main initiator. And hopefully we just get a new offense because it's looking terrible with the whole BI and Zion thing. There's no offense outside of them, honestly. So
okay. So I want to read the quote, Jaden, because I want to ask you about a specific part of it. You said last year we had a team meeting and we brought up some things I can do better, especially with buying into the program. What did you get from that? Like what program do you think they wanted him to buy into? Like, because I think last year he was playing great.
He was playing very great. I don't know what maybe it's like a playmaking role or something like that. Because that's what we're seeing him in a little bit more. But he can't be your main initiator. So honestly, I don't understand what he's talking about. But yeah, it's really not too much I can say on that because I don't know what he's talking about, honestly. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching Pelicans game a lot more than usual. This year, I think I've caught probably 5 out of the 10 games. And keep in mind, these comments were said after a loss. So obviously, after a loss, you're gonna be feeling pretty down. He looked like he was pretty tired. They lost to the Mavericks, but then they came back and they beat the Mavericks by a lot. They whooped them. And I think for the Pelicans' success right now, while CJ is out, while Jose Alvarado is out, while Trey Murphy is out, they need guys like Herb Jones to step up. They need Jordan Hawkins to step up, who we probably gonna talk about later. So you said him being a primary initiator is the issue for the reason for his struggles? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because he's best when he just makes a quick move and then like takes a shot at him. He's getting the ball above the free throw line. He'll have let's just say I'll just bring up the Grizzlies game. Who's guarding him mainly? I don't even remember. Anyways, they had somebody on him, and then they were allowing Jaren Jackson to roam. If they had him in the huh?
Oh, y'all won that game. Y'all won that game. Okay.
Yeah. Or even against the Thunder, he was struggling in that game. He's been struggling in pretty much all these games. But when especially in the Rockets game, it was very apparent in the Rockets game when he was just attacking when he got the ball down low. He was killing Dylan Brooks. He was killing Sengun, and then things started to change. They gave him the ball above the free throw line, and then they just allowed the defense to settle in and stop what he had going. So he's better when he just makes a quick move and then just puts the ball up.
So basically you want him to be a play finisher. Like he's best basically when he's finishing the play. Like if he's getting the ball and then making a move, like he can't be the focal point of the offense.
No, I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't be the focal point of the offense, but the main problem to start the season was he was getting to the rim effectively, and then they had people crashing down on him. At first, we weren't making any shots. Now we're making some more shots, but his offensive game is just he only played 29 games last year. He's just now coming back. His touch doesn't look the same. I'm gonna just attribute that to rust. Sometimes it looks good, other times it looks bad. I think the play that he had the other night against the Mavs, it was wide open fast break. He had an open dunk, dribbles the ball off his feet. I guess stuff like that. He's rusty so far. So maybe later on in the season when he kicks some of the rust off, maybe it can work. But right now, just put him in positions where he can succeed, so he can get comfortable, build up more confidence. Because in that presser, it didn't look like he was confident. You know what I'm saying? If he's talking about they had a team meeting last year and all this other stuff, he didn't look too confident. So just build his confidence up, give him some easy buckets, then put him in those positions.
I think a big part of I don't want to interrupt nobody, but I think a big part of Zion's game, if he can become an effective screen man and then get the ball in a short roll and try to create his offense from there, way close to the basket instead of starting above the break. If he can add it to his game, then I think Zion, that could be part of Zion's game that's a lot more effective. And I want to ask you this because when I look at your team, and I said this coming into the season, you have a big hole at point guard, got a big hole at the center position. It's as teams, evaluate their seasons already early in the season, we're getting trade talks and all that stuff. Is there anybody in the NBA right now that you want for the Pelicans to trade for? Like as far as the point guard position, like any point guards you see on the market? Because I don't think Jose Alvarado is the or CJ McCollum is the
if Lonzo was healthy, I would take Lonzo back immediately if he was healthy. Probably something like, I guess you could say like a Tyus. Like I don't need I just need a playmaking guard, like somebody who could get the guys open.
You need
that's all we need.
You probably see if you get a Malcolm Brogdon. I think you have like a roster issue. I think you have a roster issue, not like you have an abundance of wings. Like you have abundance of wings, but you don't have no real playmaking guard. You don't have a real Valanciunas is like a replacement level center. Like you could get his production from probably 10 other guys. I mean, you need I know it's a name, like everybody says the name, but it's Miles. A Miles Turner type center will fit on the scene because he defends and space the floor. But obviously, you're not going to be able to get him, and there's not a lot of those just in the league. So it's going to be hard to fix that position. And you're right, you have a CJ McCollum basically playing point guard. He's a a score first guard doesn't really work, especially if you got BI who needs the ball. And Zion, even though he's not like a dribbler, he's gonna really initiate a lot of things. He still needs his touches too. It's not gonna work if you have two guys that need touches, because Zion still needs to be that second guy, getting the ball, or the first, no matter what. See, it's just not gonna work with CJ. If you get like a Malcolm Brogdon, you lose that. CJ McCollum was never no star, but like I guess you lose that scoring gap, but you gain the playmaking gap with Malcolm Brogdon. That probably help your team out, because that still allows Brandon Ingram to do what he does on offense, creating and scoring for for your team and such. And Malcolm Brogdon's gonna get Zion involved. He's gonna try, and he could shoot. He shot like 40% from 3 last year, 6th man of the year. He was dealing with the injury. I don't know how much that's affecting him now. I don't really tap in too much to Malcolm Brogdon while I'm watching Blazers games. But you have a roster issue, and that whole Zion program, I don't know what that's about. You probably would know more than me, but I think he probably has like a confidence thing going on, along with like him still struggling, probably keep the weight down and things like that. It's just like the expectation shouldn't be too crazy, because like we already know these type of things was going on based on, from the outside looking in, based on the roster and the players that you have in your team. You just got a bunch of wings, and that's what I feel like when I asked in the group chat, like what's like the gap between Jordan Hawkins and Trey Murphy. You might need to trade Trey Murphy to get some value back to help your team. He's a good enough player. He cool. I like him too, but you just got Jordan Hawkins, who's looking like a good pick. I don't know what you're doing with Najee Marshall. You need Herb Jones to defend. So like he's probably the only one of real value plus your picks that could go get you somebody.
Yeah, I can see Jordan. Oh no, you can go.
Okay, yeah. Because I just wanted to ask, because you're a Pelicans fan, obviously. I'm gathering right now. So I guess I'm pretty sure I forget. It was either a report or Brandon Ingram said it out straight. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but I believe it was said that he's not going to re-sign with the Pelicans come season's end, because this is his contract year. His contract is up. So what I pose to you is, do you trade if that's the case, right? Do you trade Brandon Ingram, or do you just lose him for nothing?
To be honest, I don't like this whole Zion and BI experiment, but obviously I wouldn't want to lose him for anything. I would probably much rather trade him in those aspects. But I was also going to get into this. If we don't make the playoffs, or even like if we just get in the play in the first round, this whole experiment needs to be done with. I'm kind of over it. Whether it's Zion leaving or whether it's BI leaving, of course, it's probably not going to be Zion. It's more likely going to be BI, but I'm done with this whole experiment.
Yeah, that's why I bring it up, because it would obviously you'd have to trade Ingram before the trade deadline. So you have to kind of make your decision in the next coming months of, okay, do we think we're legit enough to actually compete, which I think we're all in agreement you guys are not. So if that's the case, you got to trade Ingram like in the next 2 months, or you're going to lose him for nothing, because the trade deadline is going to come and go, and then he's walking for nothing. And then I think even another follow-up question I was going to offer to everybody, and Jake can start it off because he's the Pelicans fan, is, do you even think that Zion is long-term in New Orleans? Because I don't.
I mean, it was like reports and stuff talking about how he didn't want to be there, but then he always like said how he wanted to, and that could just be damage control. Of course, like you're not gonna talk down on a team that you're currently with, but I hear a lot of talks about him like wanting to play in New York. Even when he first played in the Garden last year, he was talking about how like starstruck he was and all that type of stuff. So maybe it's not. Maybe this isn't the right place for him. I personally don't think it is, just because all the distractions. We see how distracted Zion can get. So I don't think that this is the perfect destination for him. So yeah, this whole experiment needs to just go down in flames. I'm cool off of it.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna say I don't know if like only time will tell specifically, because for the foreseeable future he is gonna be a Pelican. It's at least until like it comes down to that contract year, then they're gonna really have to make a decision. But 2 years from now, this might be a whole new team. You brought up BI. Like if you trade BI and your picks and get back, some type of talent and value, it might be a whole different thing we're looking at. You probably, you probably kind of scratch it for this season, but you go into next season and it's definitive, like Zion and whoever that is, plus blah blah blah. and you go from there, especially because you just got to figure out a direction. I think they're like really directionless, and they're just trying to keep fans in the seat and eyes on the TV right now. Like once once this trade deadline get through, like once we see what happens with that, what happens with the team, like 2 months in, then I could kind of give you a real, decision. But as long as Zion, as long as he's still, on the court, he's probably going to be there at least for the next 3 years because they got to sell tickets.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, didn't he just sign like a 5-year extension this offseason, or was that last offseason?
Yeah, he signed.
But like that, we know that this is the players run this league. If he wants out, he's gonna get out.
That was gonna get signed anyway. Like you know how like you signed the deal, but you could get to where you want anyway because you're gonna get the most money from the team that drafted you. Mm-hmm. So for 7 years, not on a 10-year on your you're on your team for that first 7 years of your career. So you don't really got to worry about that. That 7th year, that's when you're just hitting your prime. You're getting that real mega deal. You're like 26, 27. That's probably going to be your 5-year, 280. Well, probably now it's probably going to be like 100. You feel me? But the first 7 years, you're usually on your team for the first 7 years, unless you axed out like on some Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that I think I even think because we all know this the players' league, and if Zion says I want out in like a year or two, he's going to get out, and you would. You would have to you would obviously have to trade him, and I know you want to sell tickets, but New Orleans has been I don't want to
Yeah, but I'm saying New Orleans.
Well, let's get it clear. He's there because of Zion. He's there because of Zion.
Oh, okay. Then okay. Yeah, the Pelicans have been a fucking clown show franchise for years. I mean, they haven't been legit. So
yeah.
Yes, you will be leaving. If Zion leaves, you're leaving, right, Jaden? Just
no, we already talked about this. I'd still be paying attention to him. Like I wouldn't just like cast him away. Obviously, I go where Zion goes. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't just. I still pay attention to him.
Well, you guys are one of the new age fans. You follow the players, not the teams. That's all right.
Yeah, that's how we grew up, man. We don't.
Anyways,
another headline in the news this week was, obviously the Draymond situation where he choked out Rudy Gobert. Yesterday he got a 5-game suspension. So we're gonna talk about the Warriors' struggles because they are struggling right now. But we can focus on the Draymond specific part. We can start with Jaden here.
Chief, at least they figured out their road woes.
Yeah. I mean, they losing.
Yeah,
5-2.
Steph Curry, bro.
Baby steps, guys. Baby steps.
I want to ask Jaden, did the NBA discipline Draymond fairly with the 5 games, or you think he should have got more or less? Or what?
He should have got more. And the reason why he should have got more is because his history. First off, bro, if you analyze what happened, I think it was who got in the initial scuffle? It was Clay and McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was Clay and McDaniels, and I think I gotta go back and look at it. But it looked to me that Rudy was trying to, separate them. And then out of nowhere, Draymond comes and puts him in a full Nelson. He puts him in a full Nelson, and then he holds it for so long. So automatically that should have been 10 games. I would have put more on that because of just his history in general. You saw what he did to Sabonis. You saw the nut kicks in prior years. He hasn't learned his lesson. Obviously, those other past bans or other past punishments haven't hit him. This needs to be a harsher ban, bro. This needs to be 10 to 15, something like that. This was too light, way too light.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna push back on that. I don't know about 15. I think 10 games would have been fine. Draymond is coddled, bro. He's coddled by the NBA. He's coddled by the Warriors. Especially with the Warriors, Steve Curry just allow him to do anything he wants to. Honestly, he punched Jordan Poole.
Bro, Draymond got some dirt on somebody, bro.
Yeah,
he got bro.
He punched Jordan Poole, and it was barely any punishment for that. And then they traded Jordan Poole because they couldn't work together. So I don't know, man. Draymond has the longest leash in the entire NBA. It's ridiculous. But I'm not him getting 10 games. I don't know if that would have, gave him. He's not gonna learn from this either. I don't feel like it. Draymond is going to be who Draymond is unapologetically, honestly. So I don't know how much. I don't know if the giving games will attribute to him learning more. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Q here next.
Listen, what makes it worse is that he be doubling down on what he be doing. Like after he did it, he went on he went on a gram and was talking crazy about it. Like so what? Like don't stop Draymond from being Draymond. Whatever he said, bro. You was choking a dude out and you was dragging on him. You're coaching your face, telling you to let go, bro. What are we doing? First, and it really started with Clay. Why are you trying to yoke up Jaden McDaniels off a cut? What did you have to? Why are you grabbing him for what? What you expected Jaden McDaniels to do? You thought he was about to just let you grab him, and now you want to scuffle. And then Rudy Gobert, it kind of looked funny, like you only grabbing, Clay. You're not really grabbing McDaniels, but obviously I'm gonna grab the person that started it. Boom, we're gonna get you out of the way. Here comes Draymond running down, like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. What are we doing? We playing basketball, bro. In less than 20 games of actual basketball from last playoff to now, he's done two things that should have never been done ever on a basketball court. What are we doing? And it's like when Steph Curry don't play, it's like he don't want to play basketball on his team.
That is true.
I don't think like that's how you should be going out. Like it's like in your head, this team got no chance without Steph Curry, and they kind of don't. Because without Steph Curry this season, they'd be probably like a 1-win team, barely. Like the team is not good, the offense is not good. They just got Steph Curry playing amazing at 35 years old. He should have got 10 games. Like it should have been at least 10 games. You're not supposed to choke nobody out and drag him on the floor.
And he got a history of Rudy too. I think, like you said, he was. I ain't going. His eyes probably lit up because he been hating on Rudy. They've been going back and forth over the years. I seen a whole thread of them their beef. I'm gonna come to Brandon on this. Do you think the suspension was too light?
I mean, listen, I hear y'all. Was it wild? Was it out of pocket? Sure, but like to me, it's like. Yeah, he should have been suspended 5 games. I'm fine with the 5 games. I'm not going to say longer, 10, 15. That's a little unnecessary to me. But to me, it's just like it's all got out of control way too fast. And it goes back to the whole, listen, these guys aren't actually trying to fight. We know that. Like if these guys were actually about it, like they wanted to fight, it goes back to the whole thing of, like, I don't know if you guys have ever been around a fight that was about to break out, but then break out. Like, if you're actually about to fight somebody, you're not going to just shove the guy, right? Especially if they're right in front of you. Like, you're not just going to shove them. No, you're just going to pull back and cock them in the face, and that's what you're going to do. Like, you're just going to fight. So that's what I mean. Like, these guys aren't going to.
Draymond is like that. We have every.
Well, I don't know, Q, because I've never seen somebody come back. Go ahead.
I watched somebody tell Draymond something he did not want to hear, and he cocked back and broke his jaw. We watched that over the we watched.
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. But that's also behind closed doors. He didn't know he was being videotaped. We know that was leaked by somebody in the company or the franchise or whatever. Like that doesn't just get out. But there's a reason he hasn't cocked back on somebody in the fucking NBA and just punched him square in the face. Like there's a reason he hasn't done that. He's kicked him in the nuts and he's tried to make it look like, oh, I'm just flimsing out, but my leg just happens to go boom right in your fucking nuts like that. Yeah, but what I'm getting at is they're not actually sure Draymond is about it, right? But we haven't seen somebody actually test him either. And it's also funny that he goes after Rudy Gobert. What's Rudy Gobert's image in the league? What is he? Is he known as a tough guy or more of a lover or a fighter?
People just don't like him. Honestly, I mean,
yeah, sure, but I feel like the narrative on him, if you want to say, has been he's not intimidating enough. Right? He's not that kind of guy. So that's what I mean. He goes right after that guy. It's you're not going after guys I don't know. Give me a name that another person that's about it like that. I'm drawing blanks on people.
Steven Adams? Because
he went. Oh well, he kicked him in the nuts. Yeah, but after that point, I don't know. Steven Adams didn't do anything about it. I don't know. I feel like you're more worried about your nuts getting hit, and then basically the escalation is down by the time you're recovering from a nut shot. But I don't know. It's not like he's going after Jokic or the Morris twins. It's not like he's going after one of those guys.
Yeah.
My whole point is this is all just they do this shit. It got out of hand for no reason. That's my whole point. It got out of hand for no reason.
And Stephen Curry's also down. So I know his injury is day to day, but he might miss a few more games, about 2, maybe 2. more games. I'm gonna give you guys the Warriors schedule, and without Draymond as well. So I think Draymond's gonna miss 4 more games. They lost last night.
OKC tonight.
Yeah, they played OKC back to back actually. They lost last night to the Timberwolves 104-101, but they played a good game.
It was a close game.
Oh, not last night, but Tuesday. Brandon Podziemski had a breakout game. I think he had like 21 points and 7 assists.
Looking to get him on the pod soon, man.
We are actually looking to get him on the pod. It's coming. Pause. Anyways, the next 4 games without Draymond is gonna be Thunder, Thunder back to back. And then one is both is at home. So they play the Thunder at home twice, and then they play the Rockets, who are not that's not an easy win this year. It's not. It honestly not. And then they play the Suns on the road. I think Steph will be back by that time, but Draymond will be out. Predict their record in the next 4 games, we'll say. I'll start with Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying Steph is also going to be out for basically all those, I could easily see them losing all 3-4 of those games until Steph comes back. Like maybe they sneak 1 win in there with OKC because you said it's a back-to-back.
Yes.
If it's a back-to-back, I mean, the second one, that one more is a toss-up because it's a back-to-back and both teams are just tired, but anything can happen there. And it's in Golden State, but I can see them.
It's not a back-to-back. It's one is today and the next one is on Saturday, but they play each other back-to-back.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the second game still, I think it could be more of a toss-up. They could steal that game if they lose the first game, or if they win the first game, then they could lose the second game. I could see them finishing with 1 win in that stretch. And if Steph doesn't come back, I could easily see them losing all of those games because even though I'm a big Klay fan, he has not been playing particularly well this season. And yeah.
Honestly,
Steph out for 5 games, they probably don't win more than 2.
You even give him that much credit. Oh,
honestly, it's kind of a toss up because although Klay hasn't been playing his best, I think that he can like I said, I don't care if y'all don't want to agree. It's been known for Klay to get in slumps, and he can very well get out of that slump. He can break that
slump.
and go crazy. So Klay can go crazy. Paz can step up. I'm not gonna say he's gonna step up like he did last game. Chris Paul may take an initiative to step up. So I don't know. It's kind of a toss up. They probably dropped the games with against the Thunder. I think they can pull it out against the Rockets. I think the Rockets, again, like we stated on this pod earlier, I think they're gonna fizzle out. They do look like a totally different team, but still, it's still early in the season. I think we saw this with the Jazz too last year. But anybody can step up. So I kind of don't know. I'm looking for Klay to step up the most. So.
I'm gonna go like 1 and 3. I don't know how long Curry gonna be out, but as soon as Curry gets back, they'll have a chance. But I think not having Draymond is gonna hurt their defense like immensely. Their backup center is Dario Saric, and then they have what's bro name from Indiana?
Trey Jackson.
Yeah, Trey Jackson Davis, he playing all right, but I think they're gonna have to start giving more minutes to like Pods because he can come in and he's been able to play make, he's been able to score. He's great off the ball, cutting and stuff like that. He just has so much feel for the game. And Jaden alluded to it, but this is the next point and the last thing for the Warriors. Klay early season struggles. So Jaden, I want to start with you here since he's been known for these struggles and throughout his career and all that. When are you expecting Klay to bounce back from this? He has an opportunity tonight with Dray not being there and Steph being out.
Yeah, this is really the perfect opportunity. Now, back in the Discord, I was agreeing with you. That's why I didn't say anything because I totally forgot about Chris Paul. Like it was the whole creation thing because it seemed like he was going to be on ball, but now you have somebody who can create for him in Chris Paul. So this is his perfect opportunity to get it rolling, get the ball rolling, shoot up some shots as much as he wants to. It's his perfect time. It's a perfect chance. So I'm looking for him to turn that tide today.
Anybody else? When do y'all expect Klay to bounce back, and what do y'all make of these early season struggles? Is it pressure over the contract because he's not? The Warriors are not extending him, or if they do, it's not going to be for the amount of money he wants. So this early season struggle isn't helping his case. I don't know what he's asking for, but he needs to have a reality check. He's definitely not the same player he was. He's not
before we get into that, well, I kind of wanted to comment on that. The problem is because back then, like when I brought up the slump in like 2018, back at that time, he was still like a two-way type of guy. So he wasn't shooting the best, but he was still like providing something on the defensive end. Right now, he's not shooting the best, and right now he's not the best defender, and that's due to injury, and so he's just not the same player. So yeah, right now he's providing nothing. So hopefully
Yeah,
he gets his shooting on track.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's just at this point he's just not who he once was. I don't think he's like, even if he gets to like passable level, like even if he's getting his 18 on like 40, whatever, 47 and 42, like that's just the cap at it. It's not much better than what he's doing right now. He's just not the same guy no more. He shouldn't be your third option on scoring. Like he just can't be that dude no more.
Yeah, I mean,
what about you, Brandon?
It sucks, doesn't it? Though, like he's not the guy that he once was, and it just sucks that he suffered those two crucial and major injuries back to back. I mean, like that's the reason Andrew Luck retired. He said, like, I'm tired of getting injured, working my ass off to get back, and then getting injured right again. I can't do that. Like, it kills the love of the game. And Clay has been able, and they were able to win the championship on his first year back, and that was another skyrocket where they're like, oh, we're going to be back, right? We're back in this, and it's just been even last year he had his struggles, and this year he's having his struggles. It sucks. I expect the shooting to come back. I don't think the shooting's ever gonna go anywhere. It's the defense, really. You guys, you hit on it. When your shot's not falling and you can't provide anything else for the team, I mean, you're a net negative for the team. Like you're not contributing to that, and it sucks. But it's so hard to picture Klay Thompson not being a Golden State Warrior at the end of this. It's so hard to picture that. So hard.
Me and one of our other co-hosts, Max, we did a Zach Lavine trade, thing like that. But it doesn't have to be Zach Lavine. I honestly think there's gonna be a lot of rebuilding teams pretty soon. That want to shed some cap. And Klay Thompson's on an expiring deal, $43 million. You're gonna get $43 million in cap space if you sign him and then cut him. So he can be used in many trades for the Warriors, and I think they need to make a trade. The team right now is not good enough to where they want to be. And Steph is only getting older. Steph is amazing right now, but the injuries are piling up, and you don't know how long he's going to be this great for. I think until he retires, he's going to be still a great player because he doesn't rely on athleticism, but the injuries are piling up. And so the Warriors need to extend their championship window by possibly losing Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson has to go. You can trade him for
I don't think they will, bro.
They got to put another type of star next to him. Like they got to be able to maximize.
Yeah.
Steph, it looks like he could probably play another 5 years. I don't know if it's 5 years at this, but at least of those 5, he's going to be this for the next 2. I think you got to put another star next to him just to maximize that whatever 2-year win. If you want to keep Draymond, fine, whatever. But to make that happen, you got to get rid of Klay. And that means bringing in, like, you got to bring in another guy that could go get you 25. Like, that's just what it is. I don't need Wiggins. Not going to be the 25 a night guy, but he is going to be the perimeter guy. Whatever Klay used to do on defense, that's what Wiggins going to bring you. You need somebody that's going to go get you 25. That's not Steph. And if it has to be Wiggins, cool. People don't think he's a winning player, whatever it is. You could go to Golden State and be 25 and you'll be fine. Poole don't look like a winning player, but he was helping the Warriors win.
You mean Zach Lavine?
I'm saying Jordan Poole was a winning player, and he helped the Warriors win. What you think Zach Lavine going to do with the same type of opportunities and even more? You know what I'm saying? So I think you just got to maximize that Steph window.
Facts.
That's true.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think everything that you said was logical. Everything that T said was logical. Everything that Brandon said was logical. But I just don't see that happening. Like Steph, Klay, and Draymond, that's the Warriors' identity. I don't think that Steph or Draymond is gonna let Klay get traded or let him get fleeced out of a deal if they do decide to re-sign him. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Listen, I don't. I like I said, it's hard for me to picture it. It's so hard for me to picture it, but we got to remember this is a new GM. It's not the same GM. They've had the disagreements about talk. We know Klay has made his social media post. I honestly hate when the players just post their problems on social media. I think it's ridiculous. Everything should be handled in-house and not out of house, but it's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we know Clay probably wants, a lot more money than what the Warriors are willing to give up, and it's hard to picture. What are you going to get for Klay Thompson? Do you trade him midway through the season? That's even more of a crazier thought. Honestly, I don't think that they would trade him midseason. I think that they would try to ride it out because of the history of this team. I don't see how you pawn that off in midway through the season. So I think this is more of a Klay walks at the end of the season if they don't get it done.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Laker for sure. I already know he's gonna be a Laker because his I'm not. I don't know why you laughing.
No. I know. Well, I agree.
Okay.
I'm just laughing because the way you said it. You had good comedic timing, Latif, with the compliment.
Because I mean his dad was a Laker, so he's gonna follow his footsteps.
I mean, the rumors have been out there for him to be a Laker for years now.
It's time. But we spoke a little bit about it is. We spoke a little bit about Zach Lavine in that last segment. I'm gonna start with Jaden here because he is the Bulls fan. The Bulls look like they're going to rebuild mode. They are trying to trade Zach Lavine. I think they are 4-7 right now to 11 games. They know they are bad. I seen the stat this morning, and they're like a -28 with DeMar and Zach on the floor, which is kind of crazy. Their net rating is terrible with their best players on the floor, and they're like Patrick Williams has like one of the best net ratings on the team. My question for you, Jaden, is what players should they trade? What players should they keep when they're starting this rebuild?
They need to trade everybody. It needs to be a serious rebuild. Now, I was so mad. I talked about this last year when we first started. Not last year. When we first started this podcast. In 2018, that was like my worst year of being a Bulls fan. I was tired of seeing Felicio make that dumb face after making a mistake. I was tired of seeing I think Valentine was still on the squad. I was tired of seeing all those things. I think Laurie was making me mad. Wendell Carter was making me mad. But we just need to go back to that. We need to have just straight bums on the roster. We need to get rid of DeMar. We need to get rid of Vooch. We need to get rid of Zach Lavine. Just retool, get this rebuild started, and then, just start the new generation for the Bulls. This isn't working. I know we had that magical run when Lonzo got here at first. I think that's what they were trying to hold on to, I guess. Lonzo's not going to be healthy. I don't even know if Lonzo's ever going to play basketball again, honestly. I don't even mean to say that to be funny or anything like that. But anyways, yeah, Lonzo's not coming back. Vooch doesn't fit. Vooch hasn't been the same type of player from the Magic since he got here. Zach Lavine, I have my woes with him. I think he's a good player, but I just don't think it fits anymore. I'm ready for us to just move on, start this rebuild.
Caruso got to go too. You didn't mention him, but he needs to probably leave too.
We have a whole bunch of pieces that we can get rid of and get stuff in return. But did I speak on P. Will?
No,
no. P. Will y'all should just let him go free for a season and see what he stayed. Yeah. Let him go free for a season.
No. See, that's the problem. Everybody gives people. First off, P. Will had many opportunities to be free and be aggressive on the offensive end, and he hasn't shown that. Well, I don't know why you're making that face, Q.
He's the fourth option.
They've given him ample opportunity throughout his whole career everybody wants P. Will to be aggressive, and he just hasn't shown that. I don't know if it's some mental block, if he has some Ben Simmons type of thing. P. Will has a whole bunch of untapped potential that he just doesn't want to tap into for some odd reason. I'm cool off of it. I'm done.
Maybe he needs the ball. He don't get the ball.
There's times where he has the ball. He doesn't do anything with it. He's not aggressive. He doesn't look to score. He's not aggressive at all. I think it's something mentally wrong with him, honestly. He has some type of block, bro. I don't understand. Throughout his whole career, we've been saying this.
I think he just needs the opportunity. Personally, we've seen with your boy Cam Thomas, he gets the opportunity, and now he's averaging 26 points and all this other stuff. If Patrick Williams actually gets the opportunity, and just give him a chance to see what you have in him. Honestly, you drafted him 4th overall. You need to do right by him. He was playing behind. He was a 4th option on the offense. Sometimes a 5th option when Lonzo was there. He needs an actual, chance to show what he can be. He still has potential, like you said. He's only 21 years old. Last year, he was good in the mid-range on low attempts. He was good as a shoot 3-point shooter. Like Pat Will still has tools. He's a good defender. No troll. Like his mannerisms, everything he does reminds me of Kawhi Leonard. I promise you, he does. It does. I'm just saying.
No. It does, and that's the problem. Like his mannerisms and everything else, it reminds you of Kawhi, except his play. Like he needs to lock in. He needs to tap in on the offensive end.
Yeah. He doesn't have the Popovich. He doesn't have Popovich behind him either.
Y'all just gotta blow it up for real, and y'all gotta pay Patrick Williams or make a decision on paying Patrick Williams. Y'all might as well get everybody out of there, give him the ball, and see what he can do. Because y'all ain't gonna have to trade him or pay him. And you feel me? You gotta see what you got. You seen him behind Zach, DeMar, and Vooch. Nobody's pretty much gonna do anything behind them, especially if you got two ball dominant guards at the front of the list. It just wasn't gonna happen. This team lost this window. They wasted pieces on things that don't fit together. It's time to just blow it up and see what you can get. You could get a first for Caruso. You might be able to get two. You never know. You could definitely get 2 firsts and a player for Zach Lavine. You could get a first for DeMar, hopefully, and then see what you got. Just use those assets. See what you got in Pat Will. Be bad for another 2 years. Y'all been bad for a while. It doesn't matter if you're bad for another 2. Get some talent. Fire Billy Donovan and, start fresh, I guess.
Yeah.
See what you got in Kobe. Well, we know what you got in Kobe White, and they already paid him.
He's cool.
Yeah, Kobe White cool. And I saw a report that Pat Will was looking for $200 million.
No, he's wild. Man.
I saw a report that they were looking for $200 million this offseason. I'm like, he's wild. Imagine y'all trade everybody right, and then Pat will go crazy for the rest of the season.
Pat Will,
he might actually crazy.
He's averaged like 25.
Had the opportunity.
He gonna have Mikal Bridges break out. Y'all have to pay him $200 million, bro. Oh my god, that would be crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That would be ridiculous.
The thing is, he can though. I feel like if you ask any Bulls fan or even any basketball fan, like if you look at him, you can say he has the capabilities to be.
You think he could be as good as Scotty Barnes right now?
Yeah.
No.
He's just not aggressive. Like he's not aggressive. Maybe not like playmaking wise, but he's not aggressive.
I'm in agreement with all of you. I think they need to burn it down. Trade everybody. I don't know. So like the trades are where do we expect Zach Lavine to go? Because I know the rumors have been Lakers obviously heavy. They want Caruso and Lavine, but I don't know how you make that happen, especially when you don't want to include Reeves. So that and I know Q's already getting ready. Lakers guy stepping right up. No,
not even. The team that should go after him is Miami, but they're not.
No. What? Well, I'm telling you right now, as a Miami Heat fan, no. I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right.
You have Tyler Hero. Zach Lavine is better than Tyler Hero.
Not by much. Not by much.
Huh?
We're gonna sit here and act like Zach Lavine is this.
It's a lot better than Tyler Hero.
Is he a needle mover? Is he a needle mover?
Tyler Hero's not a needle mover.
I'm not. I didn't ask you that question.
Zach Lavine moves the needle. Zach Lavine moves the needle more for you than Tyler Hero does.
But does that needle move to the
point I will argue he is.
For Miami Heat, yes, he's a needle mover.
No, he's not.
I would say he is.
No, he's not.
Y'all biggest struggles.
Let's everybody talk at one time. Because I want to get this.
Y'all, I don't even have much to say, but it was apparent that y'all biggest troubles was scoring and size to stop Jokic, but that's Jokic. But you really needed scoring, and Zach Lavine, you plug him in right there, then Zach Lavine makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I disagree with the huge I disagree with the huge difference. I'm not saying Zach Lavine isn't a very good player because he is, but I'm also looking at the ages, and I'm looking at this isn't like Tyler Hero to Devin Booker. Like that's not the gap we're looking at here. Like Zach Lavine's a very good NBA player, but like, come on, man. I mean, Tyler Hero been balling the last time we saw him. I'm not saying he's going to continue that streak, but he was balling. And you said scoring was one of our biggest weaknesses. Yeah. Who are we missing the entire playoff run? Scoring option, our number 2 scoring option.
Okay, but have you seen Tyler Hero in the playoffs? He's not good.
When was the last time we saw him in the playoffs?
Last year before he got injured, and I'm talking about
for like a quarter.
No, not last year. Like not last play, the year before.
Years ago,
yes.
2 years ago.
He played. I think around.
There was never a playoffs where Tyler Hero was good. So you
No,
know
what ages were he?
The
bubble, he was
yeah,
good.
the bubble.
The bubble, he was good.
Oh, wait. I just want to clear this up, right? He didn't play this past season in the playoffs. He played like a quarter, right? And then he got injured. He broke his hand. I don't count the play-in. That doesn't count as a playoffs, all right? So then we're talking about the year before that, right?
He was not good.
How old was he?
Why does that matter?
What do you mean? What?
No, that does
when you
matter.
get older, you get better with the experience and your like. What?
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. We've seen players struggle in the playoffs. We've just seen it. Cat played bad in his first playoffs. We got older. He played bad still. Julius Randle played bad in his first playoffs. He got older.
That argument when we have that argument, all I'm saying is he missed the entire playoffs last year, so we don't know what this new Tyler Hero is in this playoffs coming forward. So we got to see it. You want to hold him to he didn't play. I'm not arguing he didn't play well. That's not what's coming out of my mouth. I'm just saying we haven't seen a Tyler Hero that is creeping towards more his prime years of his career. We're not going to disagree on that because that's just a fact of the matter.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me ask you this though. You have Jimmy Butler who is getting older, and you have Bam who is ready right now to compete for a championship. We've seen over the last few seasons. You don't have time to be waiting for Tyler Hero to get into his prime or get better in the playoffs. We know what Zach Lavine is, and we know what he would bring to this unit right now. If you guys trade for Zach Lavine, that puts you right back.
Is Zach Lavine better than Bradley Beal right now? Both are healthy.
Right now?
Who's better? Both are healthy. Who's better?
Same tier.
They're both
same tier.
They're the same. They're the same. Okay,
same
so
tier.
the report was that the reason Miami didn't want to trade for Bradley Beal is because they didn't view him as that difference maker. Case closed. Thank you.
And that was dumb. And that was dumb then. And that's dumb now.
Because we're seeing right now that this guy isn't even playing right now. He can't even get on the court.
You listening to your own fan base and what they think.
No, it's not. It was a report. It wasn't.
That's you. That's your fan base giving you their view on what they think the player is.
That was a report.
That doesn't mean again. That's just the view of what your fan base views that player. That doesn't mean that they're correct on that view.
The reporter doesn't report from the fan base. He gets his information from the front office.
And that was not smart by the front office.
You can say that. I don't. I disagree. I completely agree with the front office.
Just because Pat Riley doesn't think Bradley Beal is a needle mover does not mean he isn't. That's you. That's Miami again failing to do the things necessary to make a move to actually compete and just sitting back and relying on Miami culture. Go out and make a move for the better player because Tyler Hero is not a better player than Zach Lavine. It's a gap. Like it's literally a gap. Tyler Hero is not the needle mover. Go get better now. Jimmy Butler's 35 years old.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I trust the front office that has been to 2 out of the last finals in the past 4 years.
I have not won one of them.
Were we supposed to be there? Answer that question. Were we supposed to be there? Either one.
That don't mean you get. Hold on.
What are you talking about?
They don't mean you get. Hold on. They don't mean you get
for overachieving.
I've been overachieving.
Yes, I'm giving that. Yes, we should get the credit for overachieving. We weren't even supposed to be in those situations.
And then when y'all get there, it's clear that y'all don't belong there and y'all missing things. Go get some things.
Thank you.
Well, the first one was injuries. The first one was injuries.
Y'all was never beating the Lakers. Let's be for real.
Lakers
y'all wasn't beating the Lakers.
And y'all were definitely
stop.
Warren Dragic was healthy and Bam Adebayo was healthy.
Oh my god.
I beg to differ.
No, let's 6 games, guys. It went 6 games without those guys healthy.
It would have been 3. It would have been 3-1. It would have been 3.
It went 6.
Jimmy Butler on his last legs for them.
And if he had Goran Dragic and a healthy Bam, you're telling me he wouldn't be less tired?
Thank you.
And they still.
He wouldn't have. Jimmy wouldn't have to have used that if he had.
We went 6 without him too. It's not like you swept us.
You were not going into a series with LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing like 2 top 5 players and coming out.
We went 6. We went 6. We went 6.
It wasn't a close 6. It wasn't a close 6.
It wasn't a close 6. It wasn't a close 6.
It was 4 decisive wins and 2 L's that came down to the last 5 minutes. 4 decisive wins and 2 L's that came down to the last 5 minutes.
Danny Green missed a wide open 3-point shot to put us up 3-1. What are we talking about right now? That literally he was wide open. He missed it. Now that's not even the point. The whole point of this.
What does that have to do with the Heat?
The whole point. What do you mean? He missed a shot that it would have been. Never mind. Whatever.
I know. I'm saying like that doesn't go against.
He missed the shot.
Okay. The whole point.
point that it wasn't a close. It was not a close series.
It wasn't.
That's the whole
It wasn't. It wasn't a close series at all.
It would have been a 5-1. It would have been 4-1
It
instead of
wasn't
4-2.
close, but he missed a game-winning shot, but it wasn't. That makes total sense, guys.
Because
Again,
in the losses, we lost. Yeah.
Close losses.
The we's coming out. The we's coming out. We're here
All right. Okay. Whatever. Fine.
It gets scary.
Well, like,
It
Miami
gets scary on this
Thunder-
podcast, bro. The week is crazy.
Okay, let's calm down. Listen, the whole point is, and the problem with Heat fans is y'all get complacent with being this team that made the finals and don't have enough, and you want to stay with Tyler Hero. You are complacent. You just said
I wanted Damian Lillard. I wanted it. How am I complacent when we wanted Dame?
Listen,
and y'all being Miami didn't do the necessary things to go get it.
Okay.
False. That is a false statement. That is
Okay, whatever.
From
Dame,
wait, I'll let you go. From reporters and from Dame's mouth, that's a false statement, Q.
Okay, but listen, the problem with y'all need is a volume scorer that can get you to, bro. Zach Lavine, we being sparse with 30. Zach Lavine can get you 50. Like, he can get you 45, 50. Like, you need someone that is a high volume scorer. And I'm sorry, that is not Tyler Hero. I promise you it is not. That is exactly.
I never said he was.
But that's what you need. That's what you need. You need.
I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you.
So why wouldn't you go get Zach Lavine?
I don't believe Zach Lavine is that guy. I said it 4 times already. I don't believe he's that guy.
So who is that guy? That don't mean that. Who is that guy? Who outside of Damian Lillard?
We don't have it. That's my whole point. Is their guy is Dame was the last ditch effort. So until a guy like Dame's caliber comes available again, then we can start talking. But this Zach Lavine shit, I'm okay. That's my whole point. Is I'm okay. We chose Tyler. Go ahead.
There isn't going to be a guy on Damian Lillard's level that's going to.
Then we're still Zach Lavine.
But you're also you're missing the crux of what you need. You need a guard, a perimeter guard that can get you 25 points per game by himself. A self creator. It don't have to be Zach Lavine. It could be a Donovan Mitchell. It doesn't have to be a Dame level guy.
Donovan Mitchell. I agree with Donovan.
Again, just a guy that can go get a bucket by himself. Tyler Hero cannot get a bucket by himself. He's still a guy that relies on screens and pin downs. That doesn't help you in certain situations. You need somebody that could, when everything looks muddy in the half court, could go get you a bucket. Zach Lavine, no matter what you think, when you need a bucket, he can go get you a bucket. You just seen him last night. He literally pried a game time bucket by himself off a screen. He can do whatever you want on offense in the half court. And he's not inefficient at all. Like, that's what you need. Tyler Hero ain't that.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying he is. I'm not disagreeing that we need that guy. I'm in total agreement. I don't believe Zach Lavine is that guy. I believe Donovan Mitchell is that guy. I believe Damian Lillard's that guy. But Mitchell is headed to New York at the end of the season, and Damian Lillard is on Milwaukee for the foreseeable future, right? So I don't believe Zach Lavine is that guy. And you bring up you bring up last night or 2 nights ago, whatever the game was where he won the game. My only pushback would be that was like what, the 7th game of the regular season. We're talking playoffs. I am to show up in the playoffs. I don't think
you don't believe he's what guy? A guy to go get you 25?
No, I don't believe he's that guy in that moment late in the. I don't believe he's that guy. I don't believe he can be a number 1 on a championship team, which is what we would ask him to be doing.
You don't need him.
He would be the number 1 scoring option, would he not?
Oh yeah, that's cool. He can be the number 1.
That's what I'm saying. I don't believe he can be that guy. That's my whole point. I don't believe he can be that guy.
Why not? Y'all damn near relying on Tyler Hero to be a number 1. So if you're getting better production from somebody than Tyler Hero, why would it not work?
Because I don't believe he is that guy, but I also don't believe Tyler Hero possibly is that guy either. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
And if y'all overachieved with Tyler Hero not being that guy, somebody that's more that guy than Tyler Hero should be able to basically get y'all right back where y'all should have been in the first place.
But then it comes back to, like I said, Zach Lavine is better than Tyler Hero right now. Yes, I agree. But it comes back to my point. I don't believe that there's a major gap. You guys believe there is a major gap. That's my whole point.
Okay. Let's move on to the rookie.
Analyzing it wrong though. Before we move on, I thought your whole point of view on it is that we're seeing a jump in here.
Are you talking to me, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're seeing a jump in Hero so far this season, and you didn't see him in the playoffs last season, so you're missing your second scorer. So just see what you have in him now. That's what I thought you were going with it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree. Yes. No, I didn't. Did I? If I didn't make that clear, no, I want to go ahead with Tyler Hero right now because that's what we have right now, and I don't think that the gap is that much. So let's just see what we got in Tyler Hero. That I agree with you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. We got rookie report card. So this whole segment is we were like 2 weeks into the season. So what rookies have you been impressed with? And I want to give their grade. Not give their grade, give their play a grade. So give me some rookies you guys have been impressed with. I actually should have probably had a list and y'all gave me grades, but we probably do that. We do that later. I'll redo the segment. But what rookies have you guys been impressed with to start the season? Start with Q.
Obviously, I've been impressed with Chet. His last game wasn't that, well, but I mean, he still had like a plus 30 in the box score, whatever it is. But he's been pretty much shooting 50, 50, 90 from the field on like 70-something% true shooting. He's, playing defense. He's being the rim protector that OKC has needed. And he's giving you 16 points a game. His usage is not high. Like, so he's fitting into right into the flow of the offense. He's not getting in nobody's way. He's spacing the floor. Shea is still shooting at a great, percentage from the field. He has more like room to work with. So I think he's been doing great. And the second guy is Jordan Hawkins. The last couple of games, he's been, catching fire. He's not really like, you can see like he's not the best self creator, but like when he, especially from the 3-point line, he's been lighting it up. That's what we knew he was going to come in and do. He's giving you about 13 points per game. That's all that you ask for. He's been perfect in that, that Trey Murphy role. I think, probably by midseason, they might look on to move from Trey Murphy even when he comes back just because they got Jordan Hawkins and he's ready to play right now. Damn, I was supposed to give him a grade.
Yeah, give him a grade.
Chet, I give him an A-. I give Jordan Hawkins a cool B.
Go ahead, Jaden. I'm sorry. You go next, bro.
I'm trying to yeah, so Gal, I'm kind of upset because Q took my shine. I was gonna say Jordan Hawkins. I'm just happy with how he's playing. He's not shy at all. Like he'll shoot the ball with if you give him just a tiny bit of space. He's really stepped up, like Q said, in his Trey Murphy kind of role. So hopefully, there's things that I see he needs to improve on. I see him in more actions with Valens. I'm not even gonna try to say his name with JV. Sometimes with a screen and roll or a pick and pop. I think they want to get him more involved in that. That could possibly be because of the offense just being so stagnant and everything just running through Zion and BI. But sometimes he makes the right decisions. Sometimes more often he doesn't make the right decisions. But I think that he can improve on that aspect. Mainly right now he's just an off ball scorer. But again, I do think that he can develop and get better with being an on ball scorer. But so far, I'll probably give him like a B plus, something around there. I'm really impressed with him so far.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm gonna just give some love out to my guy. All right, shout out Miami. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Triple J from UCLA. He's playing particularly well right now in 23 minutes in the Miami Heat uniform. I'm not going to give him an A or anything, but I think he's a solid B. I think he's doing exactly what we drafted him to do, which was a 4-year college guy and to be NBA ready right now to provide some quality minutes right now, which is what he's doing. So I think he's playing particularly well. I just want to give a shout out to my guy, Triple J. I particularly just want to give a shout out. Duncan Robinson's playing great right now. Did you guys see him cook Wembanyama at one time? Y'all saw that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Q. Y'all saw that with the left. With the left. What? I thought he didn't have a handle. All defensive team. Wembanyama got cooked by Duncan. Jeez.
Nah, Duncan Robinson has been. He actually has been, improving his on ball. I mean, like his off the dribble play over the last few seasons, which is kind of crazy. But my rookie, I have two of them. My rookie is Derek Lively. Obviously, I've been high on him since he came up from Duke. It was a great pick by the Mavs, and the Mavs are 12 points better when he's on the court. So he's having an insane impact. To start off, he's a great rim protector. He's a great lob threat. He fits so perfectly with Luka. He's a young player that was NBA ready. Right now, only 19. We can still see some growth for him as he was trying out that jump shot before in the draft process. So who knows? The sky's the limit, man. But he's an athletic freak. He can finish, so he's slotted in really well. He doesn't really need the ball to be effective. So I think he's a center of the future. for the Dallas Mavericks for sure. So I'm gonna give him an A+, honestly. And then my next rookie is another one of my guys coming into the draft, Keontae George, man. Keontae George. He has started over the last 3 games for the Utah Jazz, and they're in 2-1. He's averaging 9 points and 9 assists. I honestly didn't think he was going to be this great of a playmaker. This is insane. I don't know what's going on. He was a great scorer, or not great scorer. He was a volume scorer coming out of Baylor, and so I thought he was going to come in and struggle scoring. But he's pretty efficient, averaging about 9 points per game, and his playmaking has taken a jump that I did not see coming. So he's filling in really well in Utah. Will Hardy makes the players earn it there, and he's really earned the starting role. I think he's going to be the point guard of the future. I don't know how well he works next to like a Laurie. I kind of want to see him, get into that scoring bag. I know what he can do as a scorer. So they may have to move some pieces, but I think he's gonna be a very, very big part of their future. And it's crazy. They're not even playing their first overall draft pick because Taylor Hendricks is in the G League. That's a nice overall pick. That's pretty concerning. So
they have a log jam at forward. I mean, they have too many forward. Like I said, John Collins, even like regardless of what you think of John Collins, he's averaging 15 and like 6 on like 50 and like 38. So he's not playing bad. He's not playing like, you can just slot somebody in over him. Like in terms of like between him and Jarris Walker and their 2 situations, John Collins is like, earning his spot in the rotation. Like I think Jarris Walker could earn his over Obi Toppin. So I don't understand why that's not being a thing. But yeah, Utah, they just have a log jam at forward. It's gonna be, tough for him to crack that.
Everybody get their rookies? Yep, they did. Okay, so that's gonna be the end for episode 60. It was a very, very entertaining episode. Thank you, Brandon, for coming on. Just with
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is
that's crazy.
Just with the energy you bring and all just with the energy you bring, I'm looking forward to having you back on the podcast down the line, especially when we probably talk Miami Heat basketball. So they've actually been winning games without Tyler Hero, so still in contention right now. But that was episode 60. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to our social medias up at the top. We are going to be out though. Thank you guys for watching.